Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Coming at you live from my floor in my bedroom. This is weird. I'm still trying to adjust to this because I'm used to like having my own office space where I'm like in my element, and so I am literally just working wherever in the house while my office gets built. So very exciting, making those short-term sacrifices for the long-term goal. Hey Rebecca, Brittany, Caitlin. Hello, hello. There's more of you on, but it's not showing me your names. So say hello when you hop on. If you're on the replay, make sure you drop a replay. Hey Brittany. Two Brittany's. Good morning, good morning. So who is excited about this month's join special? First of all, we're already 8 days into the month, and so we still have, what, 3 weeks left to get all the people on our teams with this incredible join special. I will say this join special is not for everyone. A lot of people are still going to want the bigger kits. So it's really going to depend on who you're recruiting. And that's why it's so important too to always give them the different options. Don't just think that, you know, everybody wants the $25 join special. I know for me personally, back when I joined, I would have wanted the $25 join special because we were literally broke as a joke. I don't even know, well, I know how I afforded the $99 kit. I put it on a credit card, which was not responsible, but I paid it right back, okay? But I would have wanted the $25 starter kit because of that. And had my sponsor recruited me, and really got to know me and my needs, she would have known that. Now, I didn't get recruited. I just joined on my own. But me in the position I'm in now, financially, I would want the $99 kit still because I would see the value in that. It's over $300 worth of product. I would know, like, hey, that's the best deal. Or, I would want the $59 kit because it's still good, and then I could use my host rewards, and I could go ahead and get all those orders. Like, it's going to depend on the person. But this join special is a great way to, number one, get you into the habit of having those join conversations, get you excited to have those join conversations. It's funny, every time we have a join special month, our recruiting is way up. But it's not just because of the join special. It's not because everybody's getting a $25 kit. It's because you are more excited and more motivated and inspired to have those conversations, and so you're sharing it more. I mean, even me myself, I share it more when we have these exciting join specials because it's scarce. You know that this is only for 1 month. You're sharing it like crazy, versus on the other months, maybe you're not having as many join conversations, or you're not sharing it as much in your stories, or you're not going live about the join opportunity and sharing your story and those kind of things. It is flipping hot, so this is coming off. I have lights in front of me and they're burning me up. So that is why I wanted to do this month's training on recruiting, because we do have this join special, and I feel like I personally, as a leader, have slacked in the last few years on just training on the basics of recruiting. Like where to even start. What are the basics that you need to do? Sorry, Emily, it's actually not hot. It's not hot outside. It was only hot for 2 days, and then it went from like 78 degrees to 35 degrees. So that's where we're at. This is Alabama. But that's why I had a fur coat on a minute ago, but now I'm hot with all these lights. It's a whole thing. It is sunny, so that's good, because yesterday it was gross. But this is why I can't read comments, because I get so distracted. I've diagnosed myself with ADHD, by the way. Took me 29 years to realize it, but that's where we're at. So this is why I wanted to do this recruiting training. I wanted to train on the basics of recruiting. I have always been a very consistent sponsor. Don't be sorry. It's my own fault. I should just swipe them away, but I love y'all. I've always been very good at sponsoring since day one. It did take me 4 months, I think, to get my first recruit. So if it is taking you some time, that is okay. You will find the people when the timing is right. But we're going to dive deeper into some things, some strategies, it's literally just going to be 3 steps that you need to remember to be able to grow your team. So this is going to be the foundations of recruiting, the basics of recruiting, how to get new recruits, how to grow your team. Because when you start to grow your front line, which are people that you personally sponsor, that is where big things start happening. That's where you're going to get promotions. The more your front line grows wide, as we call it, the deeper it's going to start growing. Because you're going to be showing those people how you're sponsoring, how your team is growing. You're going to be leading by example, showing them that you're growing your team, and then they will start to grow their team. And when you see the opportunity in this business, and you start experiencing growth yourself, then your team is going to start seeing the opportunity and the growth. I know me personally, when I first started, I told my husband I did not want a team. I was just literally blind to the opportunity. Like, I didn't even know what this was. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about network marketing or direct sales or anything. Like, I was clueless. So I said, I don't want a team. I don't want the responsibility. I don't want, I just joined for the discounts. Literally, that's all I joined for. And, I was like, well, maybe I could sell some things and get some extra income as well, because we were broke. And then I saw Emily, who's on. She is my upline superstar director. And she was, I think, still a director at the time when I joined. Maybe a star director. She might know. But I saw her story, and I saw that she was at home working her Scentsy business, supporting 2 kids. And I was like, there's opportunity in this. And that is when I started believing in this opportunity, and I really started working and really wanted to share this and grow my team. So that's the first step to recruiting, is belief. So the first step to being able to recruit anyone or grow your team is belief. Belief in this opportunity and belief in yourself. And it really starts with belief in yourself. Belief that you can change people's lives through this business. If you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe that there are people out there who need this business, you're not going to grow a team. And if you don't believe in this opportunity, then you're definitely not going to grow a team. If you're not going to share anything that you don't believe in. If you believe in it, you're going to share it. Just like the products. I'm sure we all love the products. If we don't, then you're in the wrong business. You need to be in another company. But if you believe in these products, you share them. Just like if you... Okay, me for example, I don't like travel tins. I don't share them because I don't like them. I don't have a passion for those. I don't love them at all, so I don't share them. What I do love is wax and warmers. What I do love is my air purifier. What I do love is our Freshen Up pup. What I do love is our counter clean. I share the things that I'm most passionate about, and the most passion that I have is in this incredible business opportunity. And I know that it can change everyone's life who allows it to. I don't care if that's $200 a month or $20,000 a month. Whatever that looks like for that person, $200 a month is life-changing for a lot of people. And that's what we have to remember. And I know most of you on here are in that position to where you are making, a couple hundred, maybe $1,000 a month already. And you're realizing, like, this can do huge things. If it buys groceries for someone who is struggling to buy groceries right now and is having to put things back and is having to buy the cheapest things possible and is having to make the decision between, do I feed my family healthy foods or do I buy the cheapest crap food that they have because that's my only choice? That grocery money is life-changing for that person in this moment. Those are the things we have to remember, and these are the things we have to think about when we are sharing or looking for people to share this business opportunity with. So you have to take yourself out of it. First of all, fill a gas tank. Hello. Y'all know how much gas costs right now? It ain't cool. So, you have to take yourself out of it. This is not about you. This is not about you. This is not about a paycheck. This is not about a title. It is not about a promotion. It is not about an award. It is not about any of that. It is not about you. It is about everybody out there that this business can help. It would be selfish of us. Let me tell you this first. It is okay if you don't want to grow a team. This is not the training for you, though. You don't need to be on this training if you don't want to grow a team, if you don't want to lead. There's also, if you just want to stay a certified consultant and just sell, that's totally fine. There's an option to take a non-leadership role. So you don't have to ever promote past certified if you don't want to, if you literally don't want to have a team and you just want to do this as a hobby. That's totally fine, but you need to take the non-leadership role, and since he can do that for you if you call support. But if you are looking to grow a team, this is the training for you. So, but you have to take yourself out of the equation, and you have to think about, how selfish would I be if I did not share this opportunity with everybody around me? What has this business done for me, and why am I not sharing that? That's the mindset you have to have. You have to take yourself out of it, and you have to have a heart to help others. That's where you have to be at with this. To find the motivation to share this opportunity, you have to have a passion for this business. If it has not done anything for you yet, maybe you're newer and it hasn't done anything, maybe it has. Maybe it's giving you community. Maybe it is giving you savings on the products. Maybe it's giving you $100, and that's a huge deal. But if you're feeling like it hasn't just made a huge impact on you yet, look at the stories of other consultants. Share the stories of other consultants. Pull inspiration from that. Share that. But share your story with the world. Because your story is enough. Your story, let me tell you this. The longer I'm in this business, the more success I have, the bigger my business gets, the harder it is for me to grow my team. The harder it is for me to get new recruits. I have a huge network of people. I've been in this almost 8 years. But let me tell you, I was recruiting like a mad woman a few years ago. And my recruiting has not been quite as high as it used to be. Now I'm still recruiting and earning these incentive trips. I'm still busting my butt. I'm still growing my team, and I will never stop doing that. I'm still earning annual mentor awards. I've earned it every year. I'm working on it this year. But the more success you have, if you stop telling your past stories, people are not going to resonate with you. People look at me a lot of times and they think, well, she's doing this full time. She has like a full-blown 6-figure business, like a group of almost 2,000 people. I could never do that. That is what people think. They look at me and they don't look at how I got here. They don't look at, when $200 changed our life. They don't look at when $500 changed our life. They don't see that unless I share that. So I have to be intentional with sharing those little things. I just filled up my gas tank. 6 years ago, I couldn't do that. I had to get $10 at a time. Those are the stories I have to tell, and those are the stories you need to tell. It is so much more attractive to people to hear your story versus my story. People know that they can do what you're doing. Share your story every single chance you get. I don't care how small you think it feels. Think about how big it actually is. Like, what if you didn't have that $100? What if you didn't have that gas money right now? What if you didn't have that money to pay for your kid's sports who wants to be in baseball, but you are like, this is insanely expensive? Think about those things. Your story is powerful, and you need to share it. So believe in yourself, believe in your story, believe in your opportunity. That's the first step. Before anything else matters, before what you say to people matters before, you know, anything else matters. It starts with belief. So step 1, belief. Step 2 is to listen well. This is something that took me a while to get down. I'm not the best listener, I'll be honest. Now, I'm a lot better listener now than almost 8 years ago when I started this, because I've practiced and I've developed that skill. There's a lot of skills in this business that you're going to have to develop. So, you're welcome, Crystal. What I would do when I first joined was I would just word vomit. I was excited. Since he was changing my life, since he was changing all these people's lives, I just wanted to share all the things with all the people. I had earned a cruise to Cozumel that I didn't even mean to earn. I think Emily told me that I earned it, and I was like, what? I did what? Like, I didn't even know I was in an earning period for an incentive. I was so excited. Then, I quit my job as a dental hygienist. I was so excited about that. So I was like, you know, telling everybody, I quit my job. You should quit your job. You know, if you want to quit your job, then we can do this and this and this and this. And people were like, I'm sure that's their reaction. When you're excited, it's so easy to just word vomit and share way too much information and overwhelm all the people. So, yes, tell your story. Absolutely tell your story. But I need you to listen. You cried about that? That's hilarious. We were broke as a joke back then, and like it was a struggle. Anyway, so I got distracted again. I've got to swap these comments away. I'm sorry. I love y'all, but I gotta do it. Okay, now I can focus. You got to develop the skill of listening. Just because this business is doing one thing for you doesn't mean the person you're talking to about joining wants that same thing. You have to be able to listen well. You need to get to know the person. This goes back to building relationships. You need to have a relationship with a person. You need to get to know them well enough to know what their situation is, why Scentsy would change their life, why they want to join Scentsy. Not why you want them to join Scentsy, or not why you join Scentsy, or not why, you know, Scentsy's doing whatever it is for you. What do they want this business to do for them? And all you have to do to find this stuff out is ask questions and listen. It starts with, hey, have you ever thought about joining Scentsy? It's that simple. Stop overcomplicating it. Write that down. Say that in your notes section. Hey, have you ever thought about joining Scentsy? Follow that up with, here's why I think you should join. Like, it may be a compliment, like you have a freaking amazing personality and I think you would kill it, or I see your work ethic. A lot of times I'll see a work ethic like no other with like nurses and things like that. Like, they need to do this if they love Scentsy. You know, it may be a compliment. It may be, you spend a crazy amount of money with me every month with Scentsy Club. Let me just tell you how much you could earn back on that if you were a Scentsy consultant. You know, maybe they're a stay-at-home mom and you resonate with that, and you know how you were bored out of your mind going insane as a stay-at-home mom before you joined Scentsy. Talk to them about that. Ask them if they've ever thought of joining. Tell them why you think they would be great at it or why it would be good for them. That's it. And then listen. And have a conversation with them. The rest is not going to be scripted. The first question is the only script you're going to have. The rest has to be an authentic conversation with that specific person. Every conversation is going to look different. You can have your guide, you know, for how you're going to have your conversations, whatever you're most comfortable with, whatever is most you. But you have to know the person enough to be able to cater to their specific needs. Why did my phone just go so dark? Weird. So, listen well. Ask them the questions, and then what you're going to do, you can write this down too. This can be another scripted kind of thing. So the first script you need to have is, have you ever thought about joining Cincy? And then follow that up with why you think they should do it or why it would benefit them. Once your conversation gets going, ask them, if they're actually interested in joining. Like, maybe you have already had that conversation with them and you're building up that relationship, you're building up that conversation, talking about, like what it has done for you, what you could see it doing for them, but you have someone come to you asking about joining and you want to have that conversation with them. You need to ask them, okay, what do you see Cincy doing for your life? What got you interested in joining Cincy? These are the questions I ask people. Ask and listen. Ask and listen. That's it. Then you're going to continue that conversation. When they start to get more and more interested and they want to join, all you need to do, instead of saying, let me give you an example. Sometimes people will come to you and they'll say, can you give me information about joining Cincy? And so used to, I would be like, yeah, so, these are all the possibilities, and we're in an incentive period, and if you join, there's a shooting star award, and then there's a certified promotion. You start out making 20%, and then you go to 25%, and there's more opportunity to make more than 25% if you want to grow a team, and all these things. Don't overwhelm them. When they come to you and ask for information, say, what questions do you have for me? That's it. That's it. What questions do you have for me? Then you let them lead the conversation. If they want to know about the commission, they'll ask. If they want to know about what kind of support they're going to have or training, they will ask. Don't tell them all the things. Wait on them to answer or to ask the questions. Let them lead the conversations. Just give them the information they want. So, I swiped the comments back, and now I'm already wanting to read them. I can't do this. So, thank you, Heather. I actually did my makeup today. Listen. That's it. Ask questions and listen. It's okay if you are currently word vomiting all over everyone. We've all been there. We love this business. We love this opportunity. We're passionate about it. It's so easy to do that. But that's why we have to check ourselves and reflect on what we're doing and think, like, am I giving them too much information? Am I pushing them away instead of attracting them? Like, you're doing all this work in your business to attract people. So do your best to not push them away once you've attracted them, because then you're going to have to work even more to get them reeled back in. So, yes, Emily, a compliment telling them why they would be great at it. That's so important, because most people don't believe in themselves. Most people don't think they could ever do this. They need that. They need to hear that. And especially because a lot of people don't get recognition at work. They don't get told how great their work ethic is when they're working their absolute butt off. More so, they usually get taken advantage of. And people just need to hear those things. They need to hear the compliments. They need your belief. And even, once you're in Cincy, you need the belief of your leaders, because half the time you don't believe in yourself. And they have to believe in you until you believe in yourself. So, number 1 was belief. Number 2 was listen well. And number 3 is consistency. It's that simple, y'all. It's that simple. Belief, listening, and consistency. That's all you need to grow your team. That's all you need. Number 3, consistency, is so important. So important. Probably the most important, in my opinion, because if you have the belief, that is fantastic. It starts there. You know how to have the conversations, fantastic. But if you're not having the conversations, that's the problem. So, consistent conversations. And I will tell you, from day 1, the rule of thumb that I've always gone by is 30 conversations a month. At least 30 conversations a month. So if you are doing the right things in the personal area of your business, by partying, by Cincy clubbing, by networking, whatever you're doing to grow your network, you're going to have plenty of people to talk to about joining. And you're not going to be talking to the same people over and over again, burning people out, getting on people's nerves. You're going to have plenty of people to talk to. It starts with having the personal business area right. The 3 legs of the stool: PRV, then recruiting, then coaching, which is for leadership. But consistent conversations. Start with at least 30 conversations a month. I'm telling you, if you want to grow your business, because you need to grow your business, you need to grow your front line by at least 2 a month. 2,000 PRV a month and 2 new recruits a month is going to grow you a big business. It's the 2x2 rule. And I don't know who ever originally came up with that, but it works. So 30 conversations a month. And I know that you can look at that and that sounds insane. You have to break it down. You have to break it down into weeks. So break that down into 4 weeks. That's how many conversations you need to have a week. If you get behind 1 week, make up for it the next. Make a checklist with 30 boxes on it. And every time you have a conversation, write down the person's name, check off the box. Whatever kind of system you need to have to keep yourself accountable, just write it down on a piece of paper. Okay? Now, in that, and eventually you don't have to even track that anymore. You're going to get, this is to get yourself into the habit of those consistent conversations. And you may get, a few years down the road and you're finding that you're not even having to do that anymore. You're not even having to track how many conversations you're having. It's just happening naturally because you got yourself into that habit. But then you may fall off and you may fall into, focusing too much on somewhere else. And then you have to go back to doing that checklist, and that's completely fine. But this is to get you in the habit of those consistent conversations, because without consistency, your business isn't going to grow without consistency. Only about 1 out of every 10 people you talk to about joining are even going to join. And then sometimes it may take them 2, 3, 4 years. Literally, people will watch me for years before they join. And I'm like, look where you can be by now. But that happens, and people are watching you whether you think they're watching you or not. So that's showing up on social media every single day that you're doing, and you feel like nobody's seeing it, they're seeing it. They may not even be liking your post, but they're seeing it. And they might even be a hater right now. They may be kind of jealous. And then eventually they're going to be like, okay, I need to do this. I've got to ask her how to do this. People are watching you. I promise you, even when you feel like whatever you're doing isn't working, keep freaking doing the thing. It's going to work. It's going to pay off. So consistent conversations. Now, on that topic, when you are keeping this list of people that are interested in joining, follow up with everyone on your list who is interested in joining. I call this your dream team. Everybody who's interested, everybody who is like your best host, your Cincy Club subscribers, your most loyal customers. These are your dream team. This list you have is your dream team list. Follow up with them every single month. What I like to do is follow up with them at the beginning of the month every month. Sometimes you're going to follow up with these people 25 times and they're going to ignore you. But they showed interest at one point when you planted that seed. It is up to you to continue those follow-ups. Share a join special with them that you have. Share a starter kit that you have with your host rewards that you can give them. Ask them, are you ready to do this? I'm so excited to have you. I know you mentioned that you were struggling to pay your whatever bill or whatever. This is why you need to get to know people. I know that you told me this and that. Are you ready to get started so that you can, make that happen? That is important. It is so important. That goes back to consistency. I'm telling you, I've done that with so many people that I've checked in with them every single month and they've just ignored. And then a year later, the time is just right and they reply and they say, I'm ready to do it. Let's go. So, yeah, see? Whitney said she asked Ansley 1,000,000 times before she said yes. I asked Bonnie 1,000,000 times before she said yes. Can y'all imagine that? What a rock star Bonnie is, and it took me, I swear, a century, it felt like. I don't know how long it actually took, but it took me like a century of being like, you need to do this. Like, come on now. And then she joins and she just took off. But belief, listen well, and consistent conversations. Here's the thing. I gave y'all the scripts. I told you how to lead the conversation. I told you how to have that entire conversation. I did touch on this at the beginning, but when you are, answering their questions and all of that, you need to give them those kit options. So make sure you have the different starter kit options saved in your phone. I have a photo album in my phone for recruiting. So like each catalog season when the kits change, I download those kits from the workstation in the marketing tab, and it'll have the picture of the kit with a list of everything in it. And it'll say like the $99 kit, the host exclusive kit. If you have not trained on the host exclusive kit, that is literally a join special that we have all the time, every single month, every single day. So there's an FAQ on that in the workstation. There's also trainings on that. You need to be training yourself on that because you can't properly recruit someone if you don't even know what their options are to join. So you need to be sending them the different options. Here's the $59 starter kit. It's earned through host rewards from a party. Here's the $99 starter kit. It's the best value. It has over $300 worth of product in it. And then this month, March 2022, is the $25 starter kit as well. And it's way smaller, but it's a great starter kit if you just can't, if you can't swing the 59, or, if you just want to get started right away, or if you just, buy Scentsy all the time and you just want to grab this so that you can start a business and buy from yourself. Like, you need to know these things. So I'm going to cover excuse busting really quickly. And then when I'm done, we're going to have Dixie just start a whole new live on the page. So, okay. Excuse busting. This is another thing. A lot of you will have conversations with people about joining. And you will just, excuse me, at least that wasn't a loud burp. Y'all don't even know how loud some of my burps can be. A lot of you will have a conversation with people about joining. And, you'll ask them, hey, have you ever thought about joining? And typically your response that you're going to get is not going to be, yes, I have, and I'm so ready to join right now. It's never going to be like that. Like 99.9999% of the time, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be, now it's showing me that okay, anyway. 99.99999% of the time, it's not going to be that. It's going to be, yeah, I've thought about joining, but, and then you're like, maybe you're stuck on, what do I say? So, what I will say to that, you are going to have to learn how to do some excuse busting, but you have to learn to do it in a empathetic way. And I'm not an empath. I'm not an empathetic person at heart. Like, that's another skill that I've really had to develop. My son is an empath. Like, I don't know where he gets that from, because me and my husband are not that way. Like, me and my husband are tough love kind of people, and like no excuses kind of people. And, we may be going through it, but we're not going to let that stop us. Like, we're those kind of people. So it's hard for us to see how other people don't think that way. So we've really had to learn how to be empathetic, but you've got to learn how to excuse bust with empathy. You need to, first understand their feeling and validate that feeling and tell them that, I understand you feeling that way. And especially if you felt that way at one point, you need to tell them that. So yeah, for you empaths, this is going to be easy, but if you're not an empath, it's going to be a little harder to develop this skill, but all you got to do is practice it. I've developed it. I've got it down now. So validate that they're feeling a certain way. Maybe they're saying, yes, I've thought about it, but I just don't know if I'd be good at it. Tell them, I completely understand that. I felt that way too when I joined. I was literally clueless. I thought I was going to do terrible. But what I soon realized was X, Y, and Z. And tell them, validate that feeling that they have first. Let them feel okay in that. And then tell them, but here's how I can help. Here's how we can get you through that. So that's my biggest tip for excuse busting. Whatever that excuse is, don't let them just say that and then be done with it. It's up to you to help them see the opportunity in this business and believe in themselves and see that they can do this despite those fears that they have. It's more of fears usually, or lack of belief. It's not as much an excuse most of the time.